day 25. Today we are going into our first half moon pose. So this is a big balancing pose. So I'd highly recommend grabbing some blocks. If you need a taller surface, maybe a sturdy chair or some furniture might be able to suit you better. Also, I'd highly recommend coming close to a wall. A wall is a great tool to use, especially coming into half moon. If you'd like to grab any other materials, a block, a blanket, a pillow, whatever you like to sit on, go ahead and grab it now. Today we're starting in Sukhasana, or easy pose, just sitting down on our mat. We'll take a few short breaths together to get tapped into our Ujjayi breath. So let's move any flesh out of the way. And sit up nice and tall, bringing your shoulders right up over our hips. Hands can come to the tops of our knees, palms face down or up, your choice. And you can begin by closing your eyes or softening your gaze to the floor. We'll take 3 big breaths together. So wherever you are, exhale all your air out. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And then exhale, H-A-Ha out through your mouth. Again, big, full, deep inhale. Drop your shoulders down, exhale. Last one, deep, full inhale. Drop your shoulders down, exhale, as you release and ground into the earth. You can begin to seal your lips now and inhale and exhale out through your nose, cultivating your Ujjayi breath. Again, that whisper breath, so that H-A-Ha sound as you inhale through your nose. And taking that same H-A-Ha sound as you exhale out through your nose. So it's an audible oceanic breath. Take a few moments to get into your rhythm. We'll gently bring our hands to heart center. And let's begin by rubbing them together, generating some heat here to get started. And then gently pause, pressing your left palm into your right palm. Lifting your elbows slightly. You can gently drop your chin down as you take a moment to set an intention or give some thanks or send some love to the community or maybe just someone in particular that needs it right now. Gently lift your chin and flutter your eyes open when you've completed. And we'll gently just begin to take our neck from side to side. So I'm taking my right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Just loosening up my neck here today. Again, reconnecting with your breath. And then we'll gently come back through center, and then we're going to take our chin to our chest, drop it forward, and then gently drop our head back. Eyes can be opened or closed. And we're staying on this one plane of motion. Again, dropping our head to our chest, and then gently taking it back, gaze to the ceiling, or internally, it's your choice. Allowing your shoulders to drop down. We'll gently come back through center. Let's take a few shoulder rolls here. Again, eyes can be opened or closed. You can have your hands on your knees or you can get them involved as you inhale, lift up, exhale, roll them down. Switch directions. One last round. And come back through center. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, gently twist to the right. Inhale, lifting through center. Exhale, gently twist, just gazing to the right side of the room. You don't have to crank your back. We're just saying hello to it today. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, gently twist to the left. Again, not cranking here, just gently gazing over to the left. Inhale, back through center. We're going to take our hands to our opposite elbows here. And then just gently shift from side to side. Again, eyes can be open or closed. And try to draw those shoulder blades down your back here. Just getting in some nice side body stretches. You can gently take your chin towards your chest here, if you'd like. If it feels more comfortable, or you can have your chin on the horizon. Coming back through center, release our arms towards the sky. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, draw your shoulders down your back. Grounding down into the earth. Gently take our hands to our sides. Then we're going to sweep our legs to either side, coming into our tabletop position. Hands are right underneath our shoulders, knees are underneath our hips here, and you can rock your hips from side to side, stretching out that outer hip just a little bit again, saying hello to our spine and our lower back. Coming back through center, taking a few cat-cows as we inhale, gaze lifts, hips lift, belly drops down, and then exhale, round your spine, tucking your tailbone, chin to chest. Again, taking these at your own pace here. And then you can sprinkle in any organic movement that you'd like. You can take circles, you can take C shapes. Fly with your own breath again. It's okay if you're going faster or slower than me. And we'll gently come back through center. We'll just take a quick hip exercise here. So let's gently shift our weight through both of our hands and into our left knee. Gently pick your right leg up off the earth and engage your core here. Not allowing that lower back to sway and dump down into our shoulders, so really press through the earth. I'm going to flex my toes back towards my face, and toes are going to be facing down to the earth. And then we're gently going to open our foot up to the right side of the room and really bring your awareness to your hips. So our hip is opening up here. And then our toes come back down facing towards the earth, both hips come in line. So when we're coming into our half moon later, we really are working on opening up our top leg and our top hip. So this is a good exercise to remember when you're turning your toes to the left or right side of the room when we come into our half moon pose. So take a few of these on your own, really becoming aware of where your hips are in space. Oftentimes we forget. And it's hard to navigate, especially when you're in a big balancing pose. We'll gently take that right knee down towards the earth. Again, evenly distributing our weight through our hands. Again, if you want to come up onto your knuckles here, if this is hurting your wrists, you can always come there. Then we'll gently take our left leg behind us now. My toes are flexed back, so my heel is pressing to the back wall. Again, engaging my core and through my shoulders here. I'm going to gently open my left toes to the left side of the room. Again, feeling my hip open up and then come back in line. Noticing that each side of your body feels different as well. Maybe one hip is a little bit tighter than the other. And just noting it and becoming aware of those little quirks in your own body. Take a few more rounds here. And then we'll we'll gently bring that left knee back to the earth. Gently shift your hips from side to side. Drop your head down and gently shake it, yes and no. Loosening any tension that may have come up. And then we're gently going to come into our downward facing dog. So walking our hands out, one palm's length, spreading our fingertips wide, tuck your toes, take a deep inhale breath here. And then exhale, lift your knees and press your hips towards the sky. Again, your feet don't have to be glued to the ground, and you can always come into this modified downward facing dog as well, with your knees on the earth. Gently take any movement that you need. Walking out your dog. Again, shaking your head yes and no. Rocking your hips from side to side. And I'd like to remind you that this is your practice, so you decorate it how you wish. You take the modifications you would like and really listen to your body and breath. Notice any patterns in your breath. If you begin to hold your breath, know that maybe you need to back out of a pose or take a different modification if it's not suiting you today. You're always welcome to come down into child's pose or Shavasana as well. All right, coming back through center. Let's soften our knees a little bit, sending our hips high to the sky. Let's take one breath together as we inhale here. Exhale, release. Inhale, we'll come high up onto our toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or walk to the top of your mat. Coming into our forward fold here, again softening through our knees. And we'll inhale, gently roll all the way up to standing. Our head is the last thing to come up. We'll inhale, arms almost tipped over there. Arms reach up overhead as we lift and lengthen up out of our hips. Exhale, gently reach back. Inhale, come back through center, chin is on the horizon. Exhale, begin to forward fold, leading with your heart, hinging from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, step back into your high plank position here, dropping your hips in line with your shoulders. Pulling in that core. Option to stay here and take your chaturanga, or you can bring your knees down to the earth, lower all the way down. And inhale will bring you into your upward facing dog or low cobra. Shoulders pulling back, breathe. Exhale will pull you down. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale as you press back into your downward facing dog. Now remember in your chaturanga that you're lowering halfway down, so your elbows are at a 90-degree angle. And in your upward facing dog, your legs are lifted up off the earth, protecting that low back. When you're ready, we'll inhale, come high up onto our toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or walk to the top of your mat. We'll take our feet out as wide as our mat here. Take a deep bend in your knees, belly to your thighs. Option to grab opposite arms here. So you gently rock from side to side in your ragdoll. Taking a deep forward fold here. Always option to bring that block right underneath you as well. You can shift your weight forward to feel a deep stretch down the backs of your legs. Allow your gaze to turn directly behind you in between your legs, allowing your neck to lengthen so you're not cranking it back, looking at the ground. And the top of your head is trying to touch the floor. As you breathe, with every exhale, your spine is lengthening, so you're creating space through each vertebrae. Take any modification you would like here in your forward fold. And you can find movement or stay still. We're going to slightly take our feet back together, just so they're not out as wide as our mat, but mine are a little bit wider than hip width distance. I'm going to inhale slowly, roll all the way way up to standing. Head is the last thing to come up. And I'm going to take my arms up over my head. And then exhale, I'm going to begin to squat low, bringing my hands to my thighs. My fingertips are on my inner thighs here. I'm just going to gently rock from side to side, lifting up one foot and then the other. Stretching out these hamstrings, kind of waking up my hips here. Your hands are on your thighs to support your chest and back and lift. You can always change your hands as well if you want to take them maybe closer to your knees if that feels better on your wrists. Just gently rocking from side to side. And we'll all come back through center. Gonna inhale, gently roll all the way up to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Again, rocking from side to side. Breathing. Just stretching out our side body here. Coming back to your breath if you lost it. Hands come down by your side. Let's step our feet back together to hip width distance. Again, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, soften through your knees, hinge through your hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, step back to your high plank or low plank. I'm gonna lower down here, and then come all the way down to my belly. Heels of my hands slide back, elbows pull in. Inhale, lift up, low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, release. Inhale as you lift and press yourself back to a child's pose. Just gently rocking my head from side to side on my mat. I'm going to roll out my wrists here and begin breathing into your backside body. So really stretching out your lower back here. Grounding down. And then our next inhale, we'll gently lift up to our tabletop position. Taking our hands underneath our shoulders, take your weight into your right knee and distribute it through your hands. We're going to pick up our left leg, take it behind us, and then gently drop it on the floor behind our right foot. Our heel is going to spin down onto the floor. And then this right lower leg, so my right shin, is going to spin behind me like a kickstand, coming into our side plank. My right arm is underneath my right shoulder, and then our inhale will bring our left fingertips up towards the sky. And we can take these left fingertips forward as again we stretch down our side body, breathing into our left side. You can open your chest, maybe your left hand comes back behind you for a deeper stretch down your chest and down your inner left arm. Or you can keep those fingertips forward. It's up to you. Now, option to stay here, or you can bring that hand to your hip. And we're going to take this into a tabletop half moon, just so we can feel where our hips are before we get up on the standing leg. So let's take a block underneath your right hand if you'd like, or if you're more comfortable with it on the floor, that's totally fine. And then when you're ready, we're just going to gently hover this our left foot up off the earth. That's a little too high for me, so you can always remove the block. So I'm hovering this left leg up. So this is where our hip is open here. I'm opening through my chest. My hand is on my hip, and my toes are flexed back towards our face. So this is like our little half moon tabletop. So we'll be in this shape. Our hand can reach up towards the sky, and our belly is really pulling in. When we're standing, we really want to try to keep this heel in line with our hip. It's a little bit more difficult in our tabletop here. You can gently bring that our left foot down to the earth. Stretch your left fingertips up over your head again, And then gently begin to round and soften through your legs, bringing this left hand back down towards the earth, turning back over into your tabletop position. We'll take a cat-cow here. Again, just loosening up our spine. And then again, taking our weight into our left knee this time, let's kick our right leg out behind us, toes are flexed, and then gently drop this right foot on the mat behind our left foot. So my toes are facing towards the right side of my mat, and then I'm going to turn this left lower leg behind me like a kickstand. Inhale as my right arm reaches towards the sky, and then exhale to reach forward. Deep side body stretch here. Again, option to stay here. You can take that hand back through center and drop it behind you, opening up through your chest. Pressing firmly through your left hand on the floor so you're supported. Again, always option to have a block there if you'd like. And then if you'd like, bring your hand to your hip or you can keep it extended. And then when you're ready, begin to lift this back right foot up off the earth. Again, toes are flexed back and our hips are open, really opening through your chest. We're not crunching down here. So we're lengthening through this front side body. Again, our arm can reach up towards the sky or overhead. And breathe and really feel that leg working hard. Supported through our foundation. You got it. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Again, shooting energy out through this right heel. Trying to keep it in line with our hip. I know it's not there right now, but it's easier when you're standing. Take another inhale here. And then exhale, gently bring this right foot back down towards the earth. Stretch out one more time, taking your right fingertips towards the top of your mat. And then exhale, begin to round towards the right side, bringing your right hand to the mat, coming back into this tabletop position. Gently rock your hips from side to side. And we'll walk our hands out in front of us, one palm's length, taking yourself into our downward facing dog. So take a deep inhale here. Exhale, press into your foundation, lift your knees, hips and high towards the sky. Again, all 10 toes are facing forward. Hands can be wider than your shoulders here. You can spin them, maybe pinkies are hanging off the edge of your mat. Whatever feels best. All right, option to take this into a tabletop and take your right foot forward. Or we can step our feet together at the back of our mat. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, step your right foot right next to your right thumb. Back heel spins down. Toes are facing towards 11 o'clock. And we're going to inhale, root to rise to our warrior two. So when you're ready, steady foundation. Inhale, lift up. Arms come onto the horizon. Again, you can bring your hands to your hips so you can readjust your stance here. Knees over ankle. My stance looks pretty good. So again, if you're way far forward, your stance might be a little bit too short. And if you're way back here, your stance might be a little too wide. Arms come back on the horizon as I inhale, lift my shoulders to my ears. Exhale, roll them back and down our back. We're going to inhale, glide forward. Flip our front palm. Exhale, reverse our warrior. Front knee stays bent. Left hand comes behind us. Breathing again down this right side body. Weight is light in our left hand here. And we'll inhale, come back through center. Right forearm to our right knee. Left hand is reaching up towards the sky. And then exhale, let's reach it forward. Breathe here. Grounding down. Inhale, come back, warrior two. Breathe. Gently heel toe this back foot in if it's a little bit too far out. As we inhale, straighten your front leg, palms touch overhead. Exhale, come back down. Two more times, inhaling. Straighten that front leg. Still slight bend in your knee. Exhale, come back down, warrior two. Inhale, come back through center. And then exhale, warrior two. And then we'll gently cartwheel our hands down towards the earth. We'll spin our back, left toes forward, bringing our back knee to the earth. Cupcake hands around this front right foot. As we inhale, heart reaches forward, hips sink low. And then exhale, pull your hips back, straighten through this front leg. Option to lift your toes up off the earth. Inhale will bring you forward. Exhale will sit you back. 2 more times. Stretching out this hamstring here. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhaling here. Exhale, press your hips back, lift through your toes. And then if you need to, walk your left knee back just a bit so our hips are right over our heels here. Breathing in, really taking time to stretch out this hamstring. Option to come onto blocks if you'd like. Again, slight bend in my knee so I'm not hyperextending. And then I'm trying to pull my right hip back in line with my left. So feeling a deeper stretch down the backside of my leg. Really trying to pull this right thigh bone back into the hip socket. And then simultaneously pulling this left hip forward so they're squared off towards the front of our mat. I know it's a lot to think about, but you got it. Breathe through it. We'll gently release, taking this right foot to the floor. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way, and then I'm going to gently take this right foot behind me, coming back into my tabletop, setting up for my downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale here, and then exhale, lift your knees and press your hips high towards the sky. When you're ready, stepping your feet together at the back of our mat. Inhale, left leg comes high. Exhale, step it through right next to your right thumb. Back toes are facing towards 2 o'clock and my back foot is rooted onto the earth. When you're ready, root to rise, warrior two. Again, checking your foundation here. Knees over ankle, both feet are rooted into the earth. I'm going to inhale, shoulders to my ears. Exhale, roll them back and down your back. Breathe. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, reverse your palm and reverse your warrior. This time, right hand to our right leg. Reaching behind us and breathing down our left side body. Weight is light in my right hand. As I breathe, really working through my legs here. Inhale will bring you back, warrior two. Readjust your stance if you need to. And then bringing my left forearm to my left thigh, right fingertips reach forward. And breathing here. Ooh, getting a little wobbly. It's hot up in here. It's summer almost. So my mat is extra slippery. We're going to inhale, come back through center. Arms come onto the horizon. Again, if you'd want to heel toe this back foot in a little bit, you can. We'll inhale, lift and lengthen. Palms touch overhead, front leg straightens. Exhale, come back, warrior two. Inhale, front leg straightens, micro bend in your knee. Exhale, warrior two. Again, inhaling, last one. Exhale, warrior two, and then we'll cartwheel our hands down to frame this front left foot. Back right toes turn forward, bringing the knee down towards the earth. We'll take 4 little lunges here, and then we'll pause. So inhale, reaching our heart forward, sinking our hips. And then exhale, sitting back, walking our hands along our legs if you'd like. And inhaling will bring you forward, chest lifts. And then exhale, sits us back. Again, always option to have your blocks right next to your foot if you'd like. And then last one coming up here. And then exhale, sit back. So we're gonna sit back here. If you'd like to shift forward a little bit, get readjusted in your back knee. So your hip is right over this back knee while we hold this pose. Toes can come up off the earth, hands can come to blocks, whatever level you need. And then again, keeping that slight bend in your knee, bringing your awareness to your hips. Take this left thigh bone and pull it back into your hip socket and try to rotate this right hip forward so both hips are level and squaring off towards the front of your mat. We'll feel a deeper stretch down this back side of your left leg. And left hip pulling back, right hip rolling forward. Breathing through it, coming back to your breath. Always back out if you feel a little bit into too of an intense of a stretch here. Listening to your breath. Noticing that both sides of your body are different. And gently come forward, taking a slight bend in this right knee. I'm going to try to scoot forward a little bit, moving my blocks here, and then I'll step this left knee right back to meet my right, rocking my hips from side to side. All right, we'll take one more vinyasa here before we move into our half moon. So coming into our downward facing dog, we'll inhale, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, sweep your heart forward, coming onto the tops of your feet. Both legs are lifted up off the mat. Chest is lifting, shoulders are pulling down. Breathe here, pausing. Take another deep inhale. And then exhale, press your hips back, downward facing dog, flipping over your toes here. All right, from our downward facing dog, let's gently come down to the earth real quick so I can explain. Going through our next flow, we're going to take our half moon from a triangle pose. So if you'd like to move your mat closer to a wall now, you can. I'll just demo real quick. I'm going to glide this mat over to my wall, and I'm going to be right up next to it. I'm going to make sure my block is at the top of my mat or my chair, whatever you'd like to use for your prop here. So I'm just going to have one block. And we want our block a few inches away from our foot because our torso isn't, this small. So my hand's going to come to my block. From our triangle pose, we'll be leaning forward and we'll soften through our knee. We can heel toe this back foot in, and if you're on a wall, begin to find the wall with your right hip. As you hinge forward, that'll help you lift and lengthen, finding your balance here as you build strength to lift this back foot. If you don't have a wall, you don't want to use the wall, that's fine. Just making sure that the block is at the top of your mat. Again, a few inches. It can even be off your mat if you'd like to step really far forward. And then again, same thing. Hand will reach down as we take our weight into our right foot and lift this back left foot off the earth. So it's really up to you where you want to go with this. So let's come into our downward facing dog and we'll move from there. I'm going to have a block on each side of my mat for each side of my leg. So just setting up if you need it. From our downward facing dog, inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, step it through right next to our right thumb. Back foot spins down, toes face towards 11 o'clock. Inhale, root to rise, warrior two here. Breathe, finding your foundation. Let's inhale, arms reach up overhead, straighten this front leg. Exhale, arms come back onto the horizon. Again, slight bend in this knee here. Let's bring our hands to our hips real quick. Pulling this right thigh bone back into our hip like we practiced earlier. Find a deep crease in between your hip and your thigh when you're leaning forward. Our left hip will be rolling in. So our hips aren't exactly squared, but this top hip is an opening in our triangle pose. If you'd like to heel toe this back foot in just a bit, you can. Arms come out on the horizon like our warrior two arms. We'll inhale, glide forward as far as we can. Exhale, bring your hand to the floor, your ankle, shin, or a block. If you want to bring your block close, you can. And then breathe here. Again, your front leg has a micro bend in your knee, and you're really pulling your right thigh bone back into your right hip bone. Top hip is rolling forward. Fingertips can reach towards the sky or come to your hip. Breathe here. Now, coming back through center, let's bring our left hand to our left hip and begin to take a bend in our right knee. Heel toe this left foot in a little bit closer, and then take your block, again, a few inches out from your foot. So I'm going to step forward a little bit, taking my block off my mat. Find the wall with your hips here if you'd like. Let's begin to pour all of our weight into our right foot, coming up onto the toes of our left. As we press and root through our block and our right foot, lifting this left foot off the earth. Toes are flexed back towards our face. And I'm shooting one long line of energy out through my heel. Working my heel in line with my hip. Hopefully it's there. And we're breathing. Left hand can come up towards the sky. Gaze can be down at the floor. Again, keeping a slight micro bend in our right leg. Breathe through it here. Relax your shoulders. If you fall down, that's okay. Just come up. If you're here today, that's totally fine. Working on lifting that back leg. Just maybe tapping your toe, finding that distribution of weight. And breathe. You got it. When you're ready to come down, soften through this right leg. Gently find the floor with your back left foot. Your hands can come down to the earth as your back foot spins forward, stepping your right foot back to meet your left in your downward facing dog. Beautiful. All right, stepping your feet together at the back of our mat. Inhale, left leg comes high. Exhale, step it through in between your hands right next to your left thumb. Back toes spin down. Before we rise up, let's take our block close. If you'd like it right next to your foot for your triangle, keep it there and then we can move it. When you're ready, inhale, root to rise, coming up to your warrior two. Now, if you're against a wall, you're gonna have to switch your direction towards the back of your mat so you can get your hip close to that wall here. So no problem. Hands are on the horizon. We'll inhale, arms straighten, front leg straightens, fingertips reach towards the sky. And then exhale, hands come down onto the horizon into our hip, coming into our triangle stance. We want to pull this left thigh bone back into our left hip socket. Right hips are rolling forward. Option to heel toe this back foot in just a bit as you begin to hinge forward. Finding that space in your hips. Again, micro bend in your knee. Arms come onto the horizon. And inhale will glide you forward like our reverse warrior. And then exhale, hand can come to the block, the floor, your ankle, and our top arm can reach towards the sky or come to our hip. All right, breathing down the backside of our left leg here. Finding your gaze, finding your breath. Noting if this side of your body feels a little bit different, that's okay. Now when we're ready to come into this half moon, gently take a bend in your front left leg. Walk your block forward here, getting set up. Heel toe this back foot in slightly so you can pour your weight into your left foot. Ground down through your left foot. Come onto the balls of your your right foot here and begin to hover this back leg up off the earth, opening your hips towards the right side of the room. Toes are flexed back towards my face and I'm rooting and pushing out through my right heel. If you need to move your block, that's fine. If you feel a little crunched in your upper body. And breathe here. Gaze can be to the floor or to the ceiling. Hips can be on the wall here. Slight bend in your left leg, and your left toes are working forward here, so we don't really want that foot curling in. You got it. And again, if you're just here today, working on lifting that foot up off the earth, that's totally fine. If you fall out, come right back up. Breathe. When you're ready to come down, soften through this left leg. Right foot touches down towards the earth. Deep bend in your left leg. Right toes turn forward. Hands plant. And we'll step our left foot back to meet our right. We'll gently take ourselves down to the floor into a child's pose. Knees can be wide or together, it's your choice. I'm going to take my big toes to touch and knees out wide. And bringing my forehead down to my mat. Taking a moment to reconnect and ground down with the earth. Coming back to our intentions here. Take a moment to thank yourself for your hard work today. Half moon isn't an easy pose. When you're ready, we'll gently come up through center. We'll take our feet to either side. And we'll take our feet out in front of us, knees are bent, and then gently just rock onto our back. Coming to the end of our practice here, let's give our sacrum a nice little massage. Taking some knee circles, your hands can be on the tops of your knees here. Eyes can be opened or closed. Switch directions. We'll plant our feet on the earth. Finding a quick bridge pose. So I'm going to bring my elbows to the earth and the backs of my arms. My fingertips are going to be facing up towards the ceiling. Option to bring your hands down by your side. We're all going to try to roll our shoulders under wherever we are. I just prefer this method better. So my feet are hip width distance. I'm going to take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, press to the soles of my feet and my arms. Shoulders roll underneath me as my chest lifts, belly is lifting, and hips are lifting. Gaze is towards the ceiling. Don't turn your neck in this pose. And breathe. Legs are squeezing together, but they're not touching. We're just maintaining that hip width distance between them. Take one more full deep inhale. And then exhale, gently roll all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. We'll bend our knees, lifting our feet up off the earth. Hands come wide like a T. Let's take an inhale here. And then exhale, gently take your knees over to the left or right side of your mat. You can gently gaze over your opposite arm or gaze towards the ceiling. Maybe sending your breath to your low back. If this doesn't feel good today, you can always slip a pillow or blanket underneath the outside of your knees to lift them up a little bit higher. This is too deep of a back bend today. Next inhale, we'll come back through center, working that core, squeezing your legs together, use those hands as leverage. And then exhale, gently twist to the opposite side. Again, gaze can be to the ceiling or out over your arm. Next inhale, we'll all gently come back through center. Take our legs up towards the sky. Wiggle out our toes. Roll our ankles. Then we can gently come into our happy baby, grabbing for the outer edges of our feet, our calves, or our thighs. Releasing your tailbone down towards the floor. You can rock from side to side here if you'd like. And if you'd like to take any other final movement here, now's the time. Whenever you feel comfortable and ready, we'll make our way into Shavasana. If you are in a different pose and it needs a stretch on the other side, go ahead and switch now. If you're in Shavasana, begin to make yourself comfortable. You can have your feet out wide, your hands over your head. It can be a big star pose. You can even lay on your belly if you'd like, on your side, whatever feels comfortable, and using any props that you'd like. If you are in an alternative pose, begin to join Shavasana when you're ready. We'll take one breath together here. Exhale wherever you are. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And then exhale, let it go. Allow yourself to sink into your mat. Allow your muscles to shut off. Releasing tension in your jaw. Soften through your face muscles. And allow yourself to feel supported by the earth beneath you. When you're ready, you can start wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. If you'd like, you can stretch your arms out over your head. Windshield wiper your legs or rock your hips. So you slowly make your way onto your favorite side. Press up to a seated position when you feel comfortable. Taking your time. We'll sit up nice and tall here. Taking one full deep breath again together. We'll inhale, arms reach up over our head. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Again, pressing our right palm into our left palm. Creating a little bit of pressure here. Bow your head and return to your intention, your love, your thanks, your gratitude. Thank you so much for flowing along with me today, you guys. It's always an honor, and I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste. Hello everyone, thank you so much for flowing along with me today. Your support is truly appreciated and it really means a lot. I would just like to remind you to like and subscribe to this channel so I can continue to put out free videos and tutorials, meditations weekly just for you guys. Also, leave me a comment and let me know how you feel, or if you have any recommendations for upcoming videos or meditations that you would like to try. I'm always open, and let me know. Let's get connected. Again, remembering to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.